With over 264 million people of all ages suffering from some form of depression, this mood disorder has become so widespread that last year alone, antidepressants were the second most commonly prescribed medications. While antidepressant usage has increased due to the popularity of social media and more recently the mental toll of the pandemic, it does come at a high cost and an even higher risk to the person taking it. But what if you could improve your mental state by using food and nutrition? What if I told you that your diet plays a very pivotal role in regulating your mood and mental health? In fact, Harvard Health Studies and research supports the correlation between what you eat, how you feel, how you behave, and your risk of depression. As it becomes increasingly evident that diet can directly affect your mood, let's take a deep dive and uncover the clues that help explain how exactly it does that. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Caroline, mental health nutritionist and mindset coach. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the ways that you can fight depression and low mood with nutrition and diet. And more specifically, what foods you should be eating and what foods you should be limiting in order to help you boost your mood. Now, nutrition is a very important tool that we have in our corner to really help us improve the way that we feel and improve our mood. Obviously, if you have prolonged or severe depression, I'm a huge advocate of going to see a therapist and taking the medication if that's what you need to do. But you can use nutrition as an additional element to help you alongside of that. So as soon as you start to feel down or you start to feel that you're not feeling the same, it's important to be mindful of what you're ingesting and what you're allowing into your body and really understand what kind of an impact that has on the way that you feel. Like an expensive luxury car, your brain runs best on premium fuel. So let's take a look at some of the foods that you should be limiting and some of the foods that you should be eating so that you can improve your mood and help you get back on track. Multiple studies have shown that there is a link between diets high in sugar and depression. So overconsuming sugar triggers imbalances in certain brain chemicals, which can lead to depression and may even lead to long-term mental health disorders in some people. And the blood sugar spike and crash associated with eating sugars can also promote a feeling of low energy and low mood. Sugar also promotes inflammation, which can also lead to depression. Researchers in London discovered that people who ate refined carbohydrates and processed foods like desserts, fried foods, and baked treats were more likely to be diagnosed with depression than those who relied predominantly on an unprocessed, whole food diet. Just want to say something about the carbohydrates. It's very important to understand that you still need to eat good, smart carbohydrates that are found in things like sweet potatoes and fruit. Those are really good for your brain because your brain actually really needs carbohydrates to function optimally. Alcohol is a depressant which affects your brain's natural level of happiness chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, and drinking alcohol is likely to give you the blues, while drinking excessively can harm your brain and lead to depression. Keep in mind that many alcoholic beverages also contain quite a bit of sugar, which can wreak havoc on your mind and lead you to feel depressed. Artificial sweeteners such as sucralose and aspartame are known neurotoxins, which have been linked to behavioral and cognitive problems, which include irritable moods, headaches, and depression. Artificial sweeteners may also disrupt the balance of the gut bacteria in some people, which could also increase the risk of depression and low mood disorders. I'll be going more in depth about the relationship between your gut and your brain later, so keep watching. So you're probably thinking, I can't eat refined sugars and I can't eat artificial sweeteners. So if you do want to add a sweetener, you can always use honey, or what I like to use, which is a plant-based sweetener, is stevia. So keep in mind that having these things once in a while is not going to be the end-all be-all for you. But if you do eat this way consistently, then that can have a real impact on the way that you feel mentally and your mental health. Now, let's get to the fun part. Let's look at the foods that you should be eating in order to feel better. Scientists found that societies that don't eat enough omega-3 fatty acids have higher rates of major depressive disorder. People who don't eat enough fish, which is high in omega-3s, are more likely to have low mood or depression. Omega-3s are really the building blocks of the brain, and that is why it is so important for mood and mental health. Wild-caught salmon, mackerel, herring, and sardines are all high in omega-3s, and salmon specifically helps reduce inflammation, which has also been linked to depression. It also contains the antioxidant astaxanthin, which helps protect the brain and the nervous system. Nuts and seeds are loaded with omega-3s such as walnuts and pumpkin seeds and flax seeds, but walnuts really take the crown here. They are known to support overall brain health, being one of the highest plant-based sources of omega-3. In fact, one study found that depression scores were 26% lower among those who consumed about a quarter cup of walnuts a day. They found that adults who ate nuts, and specifically walnuts, were more likely to have higher levels of optimism, energy, hope, concentration, and a greater interest in life in general. I'm down for that. Serotonin is the key neurotransmitter that helps us stabilize our mood and gives us a feeling of overall well-being, but it also requires adequate levels of protein to be synthesized. Turkey and chicken, both being great sources of protein, contain tryptophan, which is an amino acid that the body needs to make serotonin. Protein found in turkey and chicken also stabilizes our blood sugar and prevents that spike and dip that we're always trying to avoid that may alter our mood for the worse. Blueberries contain anthocyanins, which are basically a group of antioxidants that give blueberries their purplish color. This makes blueberries neuroprotective. They protect the brain and decrease inflammation, raise the production of serotonin, thereby lowering the risk of depression. Blueberries can also improve cognitive function and protect the body from free radical damage, which I've talked about before, and if you hadn't caught my last video about anti-aging, I'll link it up here somewhere. But basically, free radical damage is inflammatory and it can depress your mood, and it can also lead to premature aging. Probiotics. The moment you guys have all been waiting for, or at least I'd like to think so. So basically there's a two-way relationship between your brain and your digestive tract, which is called the gut-brain axis. So the gut microbiome, which houses all the good bacteria, is really where serotonin is actually created. About 90% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut, where it influences cognitive and brain health. Several studies have found that microorganisms living in your gut, including probiotics, can play a key role in mood regulation by helping to reduce inflammation, produce feel-good neurotransmitters, and affect your stress response. So just remember, happy, healthy gut, happy, healthy brain. So having a healthy gut and eating probiotic-rich foods like fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, tempeh, kombucha, kimchi, yogurt, all those things are really important to help you improve your mood. I also want to say one more thing while we're talking about the gut being a really important part of the brain health, is that you should be eating a diet that is rich in fiber. And you can get adequate fibers from pears, apples, bananas, artichokes, avocado. Studies found that people with depression have been found to have a lower dietary intake of folate. Folate, fiber, and other nutrients, which are all included in dark leafy greens, make it a wonderful choice when looking for foods to help improve and stabilize mood. Leafy greens is also a great source of alpha-linolenic acid, which is one of the main types of omega-3 fatty acids. Vegetables, which will really help you increase your omega-3s, are Brussels sprouts, spinach, kale, and watercress. At this point, you might want to grab a quick screenshot of this. This is just a quick recap of all the foods to avoid and all the foods to eat. I know you're probably thinking, Caroline, I'm just feeling so down that I don't even feel like eating, or I want to soothe with a big bowl of mac and cheese on the couch because I think that's the only way that I'm gonna actually feel better. And I understand that. So I really wanted to leave you with some pro tips about how to implement all the stuff that we talked about in this video, especially when you're not really feeling up to it. So I guess my first pro tip would be to just have an awareness. It's really important that as soon as you start getting those initial symptoms, or you start feeling a little bit down or not feeling so great, you get into a more preventive and proactive approach where you immediately start to switch your diet. You don't want to start feeling down and then start missing too many meals, or even worse, start soothing with alcohol. It's not going to make you feel any better, and it's just going to start this downward spiral that might be actually hard to stop. So as soon as you start feeling those symptoms, you have to connect that with, I gotta eat healthy right now. And you'll be surprised how quickly changing your diet can actually improve your mood. So the next thing I would say is to eat simple. Okay, so it's not a time to do the culinary arts thing and cook cook some gourmet meals and all that stuff, unless of course it's gonna make you happy and it's something that you have the energy to do. But if you're really on the couch, or if you're, sleeping in the bed and you don't really feel like putting in so much effort to eat, then I think the best thing is just to try to make healthy food as accessible to you as possible. So I would maybe cut up some fruits and then put them in the fridge, or cut up some vegetables and put them in the fridge, so it's really easy for me to just grab and go, and I don't have to put too much effort or thought behind it. The other thing I would say is to set a goal. So think of something that would make you excited or potentially motivated to eat healthy food. So maybe it's, the fact that you have to run a marathon soon, or just some type of fitness goal that you're working towards, or maybe it's to look cute on your birthday in a nice dress or something like that. So just think about something that is going to joyfully inspire you or motivate you to actually eat healthy. And I think the last thing, but the most important one, is don't judge yourself. This is a no judgment zone. This is not the time to be judging yourself about what you ate and what you didn't eat and what you could have eaten and what you should have eaten. It's not that time. You need to be in a place of self-care and self-preservation, and just really being kind to yourself and compassionate with yourself, and just really respecting your body and trying to nurture your body as much as you possibly can, especially during this time. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that I shed some light onto how nutrition can play such an important role on your mental health and the way that you feel. If you want more information about this topic, then I'd be more than happy to make other videos. Just leave a comment down below and let me know. If you're feeling the vibe, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to turn on that bell notification. I'll be back next week. And remember guys, health is wealth. So much love, so much peace. Till next time.